Warning. Welcome to Wake Up Real Estate. Ryan is, I don't know, he's playing video
FIFA.
games with an old school plugged controller. I don't even know what that is.
My kids make fun of me. I'm too cheap to buy the wireless because I don't play that much.
Nice. Well, welcome to Wake Up Real Estate. It's a Monday morning, October 23rd. The Eagles won last night, so all is well in the world. The Giants won too, didn't they?
Happens sometimes.
Yeah, I guess it happens. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while. It's Mortgage Motivation and Marketing Mondays. I teased a story from Jordan on how he saved the day last week, but I don't know. I haven't heard from Jordan this morning, so my guess is he's probably putting out fires again. Maybe he'll be popping on. If not, he and we'll record something. But it was a great story about how he was able to jump in at the last minute and save a deal.
Yeah,
what's that?
That's even more rare than the Giants winning, I think.
Yeah, the Broncos won too. Yeah. So anyway, he jumped in at the last minute, saving the deal for the buyer, the seller, and all of the agents involved. And there were some good takeaways in the story. So one way or another, we'll get you that story this week here sometime. Mortgage rates are
under 8.
Under 8. Yeah, under 8. We said this last week at the end of the show on Friday. Chris, I don't appreciate this. I deserve it though. Yeah, the Nittany Lions. Whew, that was a rough one on Saturday. Anyway, we mentioned this at the end of the show on Friday, how rates had hit 8%. And yet, last week, we still had a ton of applications. And I have been doing live webinars, virtual workshops, I'm calling them, the last couple of weeks. And we've had great attendance. We've had buyers on there engaged, asking questions, wanting to get help. Cosette on my team was showing houses all last week and weekend. I was showing houses during the week. I was having conversations with people wanting to buy. One was looking to buy a multi-unit and live in one of the units. One wanted to buy a home that would qualify for USDA. Like, there is still lots and lots of opportunity and activity. So don't let the doomsayers on the news talk you out of being in the business.
Yeah, and when I look at the activity, like in our local activity stream here, and you're probably seeing this too, just really good volumes of people looking at opening the daily update alerts and looking every day. Just a reminder, guys, get everybody set up for listing alerts. It's probably the easiest, quickest way to just keep people engaged without creating unique content. Just a tip for everybody, Josh, just to jump around a little bit on this mortgage page, Mortgage News Daily. They have a pretty good mobile app. Good shout. It's mortgagenewsdaily.com/mobile. And they've got it's cool. And you can do quick mortgage payment calculations and things like that in there if you need to rattle off some numbers real quick.
There you go. A tech tip on a Monday.
Yeah,
you just never know what you're going to get here at the Wake Up Real Estate show. I didn't share this with Ryan. I'll have to get this to him, but our little motivation for the day ties really well into what's going on with mortgage rates in the market, et cetera. This is from Epictetus. Epictetus, one of the Stoics. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. Skillful pilots gain their reputation from storms and tempests. I don't know what a tempest is, but it probably means something like a storm. The point here is, it's way more enjoyable to overcome something difficult. And especially in a market like this, skill is what wins. Being more skillful, more proactive, more creative, a better problem solver is how you win, right? Ryan's social post of the day on Friday was Mr. T explaining wraparound mortgages. That may be something that we all need to brush up on to make deals happen
before the competition does.
Yeah, and I'll tie that into the show here is brought to you in part by the virtual mortgage providers at NEXA Mortgage, and a great way, whether it's a wraparound mortgage or assumable mortgage. identifying homeowners in your market with FHA loans who are thinking about selling where it could be assumable. Now, how do you make up the equity deficit? Well, a second mortgage, which we can help with, is how a borrower can make up the equity deficit. So they can assume, let's say it's a $400,000. It's a home that's worth $400,000. There's a $300,000 assumable FHA mortgage at 2.75%. Well, we could get a mortgage, a second mortgage for $100,000 or $80,000 to make up the equity and to pay the other parties involved in the transaction. I mean, it's about being better skilled, better, more creative, a better problem solver. That is who is going to win and survive what is undoubtedly, let's face it, the market is not easy right now. It's just not. But you still can win. You still can win. Oh. See a complete list of homes in Pinellas County with an assumable mortgage. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Because you can pull this to your MLS. This could be an interesting hook right now, guys. We got to play with this, Josh. And do me a favor in Central PA here. Pull your list later. Maybe we'll try it out for you with a Google ad or a Facebook ad or something.
Yeah, good call. Sorry, I derailed. I know you had up on your screen your social post of the day.
Yeah.
But I got going there. So go ahead.
Yeah. So we haven't done this one in a while, but it's a tried and true one. I'm just trying to create conversation. Short list of pre-foreclosure short sales currently available for sale in Pinellas County. It's only 11 properties. Very big, million-person county. So it's still very low. People are still paying their mortgages out there, Josh. But and then I just did comment below. Do you think this list will be bigger or smaller in 6 months? You can do stuff like that.
It's funny that you bring that up because I have clients that they have a home that they'd like to sell. They want a home with a little bit more land and room. And one that we've had our eye on for a while is a short sale. And we've made an offer or two on others, and it just didn't work out. And they brought it back up to me. And so I reached out to the listing agent this morning, and it's now approved, right? The original buyer fell out, but the bank approved it, which means we could settle in as little as 45 to 60 days. We don't have to wait 90, 120, or 180 days. So there are still some of that, there is still some of that out there. Incidentally, while you were showing that, I pulled up real quick in Bright. In the 4 primary counties I service, there's only 2 listed as assumable. However, let's face it. What that tells me is listing agents aren't having the conversation.
Yeah.
Or have no idea. Like they're either choosing not to have the conversation, or whether knowingly or unknowingly, right? So that doesn't mean that others couldn't. Potentially qualify. So here's another way for you to be proactive with this. You find properties that fit your buyer's right criteria, your client's criteria, and you go and figure out. For example, with Remine, I can pull up a property in Remine and get a good idea. Is this an FHA mortgage? And I could reach out to the listing agent. Hey, I noticed that your client's mortgage is an FHA or a VA loan. Would they consider letting my client assume the mortgage if we can make up the still get them the equity in the property, right? So again, proactive, creative, problem solver. That's how you win.
Bonus social post. Just ask. Just curious. Yeah. In your social sphere, is your mortgage assumable? It could start conversation. People might say, "Why are you asking?" Go into the whole.
And most people won't know, but that starts a conversation.
Yeah.
So. Chris, I forgot that Penn State was your alma mater because you're in Ohio now. I thought you were trolling that. So it was a rough day. It was a rough day for Penn Staters on Saturday.
My 12-year-old loves to troll me because Michelle and I went to Penn, and he loves to say that's your school, right? That's your alma mater. Whenever he hears about Penn State, because that's kind of like a Penn joke. Comment below if you know what I'm talking about. All right.
Yeah, I love it. I
Just
love it.
Little tech tip. We're going to jump all around today, Josh.
Yeah, sure.
When I was in Canva building that initial social post, you can go into the elements and search foreclosure and other stuff. And I was pleasantly surprised to see they had a library of these.
Yeah.
And just another tip, you can edit the photo and remove the backgrounds. I think we've talked about that before. But,
yeah. So the pro version of Canva, which is not a whole lot of money, I think it's like $12 a month.
Yeah.
There are all kinds of cool things you can do with it. The background remover is amazing. Like it works incredibly well. And it allows you to do some high level image editing with very minimal skill.
Exactly.
So great shout there. Great shout. I made a note here on the marketing front, just a general principle or thought that I was reminded of from one of my bromances, Alex Hormozy.
Don't you have any other? That's your only bro. Do you have any others?
No, I have some others too. Kyle Wagner, people wouldn't know.
There's a guy out there right now crying every time you say that. I'm gonna show a picture of him. He's just really upset with you.
Let me see. Anyway, he was talking about just well, I mean, I used to. Alex replaced Frank.
He's your ex.
Alex replaced Frank. He was talking about and Frank would echo these thoughts. Actually, I was going to tie in Frank to this message here, quite honestly. He was talking about when you create marketing. Well, I'll give you the foreword that I wrote down here. Clear always outperforms clever. Clear always outperforms clever, right? The things that we think are clever and cool, oftentimes to the prospect is confusing. So Frank Kern would say, watch this if you want to see how to buy a home with an assumable mortgage, or read this to learn 12 mistakes to avoid when selling your Central PA home. Like just being very direct and clear who this is for
and what the benefit is.
Yeah, will almost always outperform some like clever or fancy alternative lead-in.
My ventures with banks.io every day, every meeting. I'm telling you, it's 90% of people want to do something like a Super Bowl commercial.
Yep.
And Super Bowl commercials do not generate ROI.
My kids and I laugh all the time about how idiotic most radio and television advertising still is. I mean, it's just like, and then every once in a while, you'll have one that pops up like, scan this QR code if you want to do this, right? And then that is winning, right? Because it stands out. It's very clear and direct. So
and you don't even need any design. The words do the heavy lifting for you.
Yeah. Tap learn more below to check out all recently priced reduced homes in Central PA. You might find a great deal.
Go to the banner like above my finger to check out justlisted.justsold.com.
Except you have the wrong one up there. There you go. So if you have marketing or advertising that you're thinking about deploying, or that you have currently running, and it's maybe not performing, look at it through that lens. Is this clear to the audience what this is, what their benefit is, etc.? And if not, it may be, that may be the way to try again, to start over and try again. Clear always outperforms clever. Clear over clever.
Yeah, would a third grader understand it?
Yep.
It's probably that.
Exactly.
Litmus test.
That's it. That's all we got for today. I'm going to have to get with Jordan so we can make good on the the story, how he saved a deal for everybody involved last week. It wasn't easy, but at the last minute, he sort of went in and fixed some of the financing things to make it all work. And so I want to get that story for everyone. So at some point this week, we'll get that to you all.
And if you have a broken deal right now, you can text
absolutely
text to
text fix to 888-403-MORT, 888-403-6678, and somebody on the team will be in touch to help you out. If you haven't already done so, go to wakeup.real estate and create your free account. And if you need help or have questions, or there's a resource or something that we've mentioned recently and you can't find it, just use the old chat widget bottom right on the site, and Mike we'll find it for you and we'll get it to you. How close are we? We didn't hit 1,000 yet, did we?
We hit it.
We did it, and we didn't even award or reward.
Well, we don't have to award that person, but we'll think of something tomorrow for our subscribers.
Okay. Yeah.
Right on. Good.
Well, what you're saying is we're going to reward everyone?
I don't know what I'm saying.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll try.
Those that are paying attention, maybe. Those that are paying attention.
All 7 of you. Yeah, there's actually a pretty good. Thanks, guys. There's a pretty good crowd here today.
Yeah, good crowd. Good crowd. They wanted to hear Jordan's story, and we left them hanging. But we won't leave you hanging forever. I'll get with Jordan, and we'll get
that. The loop is open.
Yeah, exactly. Open loops are a good thing. Clear outperforms clever. Remember that this week. Tomorrow's Texting Tuesday. Wednesday, we have our regular show and the mastermind workshop at 1. And then we've got the regular show Thursday and Friday. If you need anything, as I mentioned, wakeup.real estate, use the little chat widget bottom right. And if you need help with any financing related issues or problems, you can text pretty much anything to 888-403-MORT, 888-403-6678. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you all. Let's make it a great week. Ryan's going back to video gaming.